All right, 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM listeners, we are live in full effect with the one and only San Diego, California's own. We got Big June. How you doing this evening?
Hey, what's going on with it, man? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. How are you doing?
Man, I'm great, man. I'm living, I'm breathing, out the way.
But I gotta ask you, man, like, jumping right into this interview, man, like, what actually inspired you to get into the music industry initially?
Oh, man, I've been listening to music my whole life. You know, me and my mom, she used to play music, so, just listening to music, different styles of music, that's why I'm so versatile a little bit. You know what I mean? I do a little bit of everything. But, yeah, definitely, growing up with my mom, she used to play music all day, every day. Different genres. Then seeing, when I was younger, I got to see, like, Run DMC and them do their thing, and all types of different rappers doing their thing. And I'm like, man, I could do that, and that's what got me to doing it, you know?
And I gotta ask as well, man, when you said you were growing up with different genres and whatnot, man, when you were younger, could you see yourself actually being a hip-hop artist, or is like being hip-hop is always what you wanted to do?
Yeah. Hip hop is always, once I heard rap and seen Run DMC and all them, on stage and all that, I'm like, oh man, yeah, that's kind of what I want to do. And when I was in elementary, I got on stage a couple times, and then after that, I really got into listening to beats and stuff like that. And I always used to try to get my mom to give me equipment, and she got me a keyboard and all that, but it didn't do much. But I got in studios, met Steve Vicious, and from there been on.
And also, man, in the year 1990, oh, sorry about that, June.
Yeah. Shout out Steve Vicious, man. He's like the like my first beat maker. You know what I mean? I did my first stuff with Steve Vicious. He's done things for Hammer, But yeah, go ahead.
And also, in 1992, you actually released a project titled Straight Jackin'. I was wondering, what's the story behind that project?
Well, Straight Jackin', that was, I'm like I'm from Skyline, I was gang banging out here, and grew up in that area, and I just made a song, Straight Jackin', and it just, that's where everything took off at, for me, at least, you know what I mean? Everybody from Oceanside to L.A., and all that started, listening to me, and then we took off and left from San Diego to L.A. to Oceanside to all these different cities out through California, and started pushing my music, man, and getting my name out there, city to city, But yeah, once I started, it was no stopping.
And also, man, pertaining to that record, like next year it's going to be 30 years old. Do you actually plan on bringing it back out as like a remastered anniversary edition?
Yeah. Oh, you kind of smart. Yeah, definitely, because that's the very first. That's where I began. That's my very first song that I ever dropped. So, I did a 28-year anniversary, and yeah, so I'm gonna re-drop it again. I just want to re-drop it and actually do a video to it this time. You know what I mean?
And also, man, jumping ahead into the millennium, man, in 2003, you actually dropped another great album by the name of My Day Goes On. I was wondering, what's the story and inspiration behind that phenomenal record, and is it still out there today for individuals to give it a listen if they haven't already done so?
Yeah, My Day Goes On. That album is out there. It's under I think Dave Moss, Heaterville. It's under Empire Records rather. So it's streaming everywhere. But behind the album, it was an album that I made when I was in prison in '97. So that's I kind of created it while I was in prison, and while I was just sitting there, created a whole album and got out and was able to really do it and put it together. Steve Vicious was actually the he did like majority of all the songs on there was Steve Vicious' work. Yep.
And also,
and that's Steve Vicious.
I was just going to say, you actually formed a movement called Footprints. I was wondering, man, can you tell us a bit more about Footprints? And of course, what exactly is the Footprints movement?
Well, Footprints is inspired, through Nip. Nipsey Hussle, before he died, he was showing his homies like, it's cool to mess around with Bloods, to fuck around with Bloods, you know what I mean? And I right before he passed, he was wearing all red, and it just, I was like, man, and then to see after he passed how the streets looked, it was all, nothing but homies, Bloods and Crips, nobody wasn't tripping, and and I'm like, it really need to be like that because it didn't start this the way it is now. Gangs didn't start this way, and I'm just trying to get it back to the collective of where everybody respect each other and be grown men about the situation, and we can be successful. Everybody can have a shot at success. It's kids out here that can't even play outside because we out there in the streets hanging out in the way. You know what I mean? Straight bullets flying. You know what I mean? So, people's parents want to have, kids are being fat because they're in the house playing Nintendo, PlayStation, stuff like that. So, I felt like we fucked these streets up, so I feel obligated to help get it back to where, niggas ain't shooting and killing. That they respected each other and, they ain't tripping off each other. They got jobs and extra money to do things and whatnot, with the kids and the youth. So that's what the Footprints movement is. It's just, trying to get people to stand up and respect each other and get to the money. You know what I mean? Saving young black lives one step at a time.
And I gotta say, it's a great movement as well, you know what I mean? It really does. Like you said, it helps save lives, and, not a lot of individuals really have that mentality. Most people on the streets just start shooting, man. So it's good to see that individuals like yourself, man, is really trying to think about their community.
Yeah, man. Each and every one of us gang members are heroes in our own way, you know what I mean? So I'd rather get paid to and still be a hero where I'm from and leave all the dumb stuff alone, and we can turn it into a business and really get paid for, wherever we hanging out at. But people got to learn that, and once they learn and see a model of success, they'll get it together and know that they can do it too. And that's all I'm doing is showing people every step of the way, like, from what to do and how to get it and so on and so forth. So I'm just leaving little footprints so people can follow behind. And, you know what I mean?
And also, you were actually with Big and It Records. I was wondering if you tell us a bit more about that record label. And of course, man, how did you initially get signed to them?
Well, Big and It Records is my record label. I started it. That's me. Everything Big and It Records is me. And that's just the label that I started with when like I told you, I was a Blood, and Big in It Records. It was when you say kicking it back, and Blood say big in it. You know what I mean? And it was a slick way to say big in it. And so, I just created Big in It Records, because everybody wanted to get big in the record. You know what I mean? So this is a place where I put in all the work. So, people, my fan base, with my people on my label, with me at the forefront, they gonna sell records, and we gonna make it work. You know what I mean? Because they got me to push the door in for them.
And also,
all they gotta do is work. Go ahead.
I was gonna say also, man, on March 5th of 2021, you dropped a single, Paru Love, man. I was wondering, what's the story behind that single, man? And of course, where can our listeners buy or stream themselves a copy?
It's on every digital platform, Spotify, Google Play, Amazon. Paru Love, it's a people that know it's a song that the Bloods and Crips did back in the day, and it was real big I put a whole different twist to it in this day and age, knowing that I fuck with people on both sides on some respect, some gangster shit, respect, and the song I switched it to where it's talking about a female from the other side of the tracks, and her brother is like telling her like, nah, you ain't finna get with that dude, all he gonna do is hurt you, he gonna do this, that, and the third, and he from over there, you know what I mean? That's Big June, come on now. And in the song or in the video, she gonna be coming home with bags and all this and that. So, anyway, by the end of the song, the brother gonna be like, man, he's a good dude, you know what I mean? But it's Pyru love, though. Just, giving a female some Pyru love, like fucking with me or they can fuck with my homie or whoever. But they getting some love from a Pyru,
But I gotta ask you, man, what is next for Big June? Like, is there any new projects, anything I happen to miss during this interview that you still want to talk about or promote while we still have you here live on the Canadian airwaves?
Well, yeah, it's gonna be my last album, Through the Eyes of a General. It's gonna be probably like a double CD, you know what I mean? And then I got a very best right before Through the Eyes of a General. Just, a lot of songs that people hadn't heard in a while, and some of the stuff that I've been making, and so it's gonna be a very best of Big June. Cause I got so many different fans and people from all over the world that hit me for certain songs, and it's just love. I get love through this music stuff, and just the more people that tune in and tell me how much I impact their lives, you know what I mean? That's what keeps me going forward with the music. You know what I mean? So I'm a big influence to people, and and that's what made me take the footprint stance, and in the unity and community, silencing the violence. You know what I mean? It's so cool to be a blood or a crib, but treat yourself like a business. You know what I mean? You don't want no negative stuff around your business, so that's me now. I'm a business. Digging the records, Big June. Footprints is an LLC. You know what I mean? I got a non-profit organization that we're about to start as well, so but that'll be on another interview.
And also, Big June, this is the time in the interview, quickly, right before I wrap things up, that I give a chance for the individual that slides into the radio station airwaves, just a chance to give shout-outs to whomever they want to give shout-outs to, but of course your social media handles, that way our listeners can follow you and stay updated everything Big June, if they're not already doing so.
Yeah, it's everything at the Real Big June. It's THAREAL Big June. That's like my Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat is Junie the Great SD, JUNEYTHESD. Yeah, that's it. And then footprintsgear.com is going to be up in a second, so I'll be able to hit my website and get anything, any of the merchandise, footprints. I'm gonna have the general activewear. You can go on biggandrecords.com and get the general activewear stuff off of there. Yeah, we just man trying to expand and create businesses. I got my son is up next, Lil June, Young Fredo. I noticed you didn't mention the song that the main girl song that dropped right before Pyru Love. That was me. My father. That I haven't seen him in 30 years. We did come to find out he was a musician, and we did a song together. Me and him, my son, and my son's best friend. That's main girl on YouTube, Big June. You know what I mean? Check that out. Yeah. You guys didn't hear that one?
I didn't get an opportunity to, no. I did hear Pyru Love, though. And I gotta say, it's absolute fire.
How you like it?
I gotta say, man, I love Power Love, man. It's absolute fire, man. We've been actually spinning it here on the radio station as well.
Oh man, that's love, man. Hey, Big June I had to jump out of the rap artist and jump into some R&B. You know what I mean? That's me on the hook and everything.
And I gotta ask, man, when you said that's gonna be your the album coming up is gonna be your last rap record, man. Are you gonna be done music completely, or are you switching to the R&B genre?
No. I mean, you know, everybody say they quit, and you know what I mean, they probably come back. But I don't know. I'm thinking about jumping over this. I don't know. Do you guys know Lecrae and Bizzle and all them dudes? Seven.
I've heard of them, yeah.
Yeah. What else? No Malice. You know, they've been at me. They've been hollering at me, and you know, I just can't keep sending my people down the same shit on. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna change. He probably change up, and you know, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
And I just gotta say, first and foremost, man, thank you so much, June, for just taking the time out of your busy evening and coming on 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM. It was an honor, man, and an absolute privilege, and I hope down the line we can make this happen again sometime soon.
Oh, man, I'm trying to come out where y'all at, so, man, we could definitely do it again until I can get out that way, you know what I mean?
Hey, man, most definitely. Maybe next time maybe when you get the chance to come to Canada, man, we can actually sit down in the studio and actually do an interview, man. Do some Hot 97 type shit.
Hey, what part of Canada y'all in?
I'm in the East Coast. I'm way east. I'm right across the border from New York State.
Oh, okay. Damn.
Yeah, man, we're really East Coast.
Yeah, Canada's stretch, boy.
Hey, man, but I gotta say, June,
pleasure,
thank you so much, man.
Thank you guys having me on there, man, and much love and respect, Southeast San Diego. We fuck with y'all.
Hey, man, most definitely, man. I gotta say nothing but love, man, and I want to say most definitely, man, and stay safe out there out in San Diego as well.
Man, you already know.
Hey, man, most definitely, June. Have yourself a wonderful night.
You too, man. In a minute.